you for joining us. Thank you for asking the questions in searching out the answers that can change your life. We have joining us today Dr. Bruce Fife, who has written a book called Stop Alzheimer's Now, How to Prevent and Reverse Dementia, Parkinson's Disease, ALS, MS. Now, what if you could reverse these diseases? What if you had it in your hands for what, $17.50 or $19, whatever it is? What if you had that in your hands and you said, oh, no, that can't be true. It's too good to be true. Well, no, it's not. It is right. And Dr. Bruce Fife joins us today. Now, Bruce, I asked you during the break if you are a vegan. You said no. I asked you if you're a vegetarian. You laughed. You said no. And so I said, but you don't go to the grocery store and buy your beef, do you? And tell the listeners what you said, please.
No, we go to a local farmer and we buy all of our meat, eggs, and milk, raw milk, from him. And he grows all of his food organically, grass-fed beef and so forth.
And I think that's wonderful. But you also said you drink raw milk.
Yes.
You used to do that illegally, but now you've come out of the closet. You were a closet raw milk drinker, and you've now seen the light, or at least in your state, you're able to do that now?
Well, now we're able to buy a part of the herd, and so I'm become an owner of the cow, and as the owner of the cow, I can drink the milk.
Oh, so you had to buy a herd of milk cattle to be able to have raw milk, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
We buy a portion of the herd, so it's not like hundreds of dollars.
So you have a share of
the cow share.
one teat or something of the cow or whatever.
Something like that.
Anyway, that's pretty cool. But diet does play a role in this, doesn't it? I mean, what we're talking about here can be reversed by diet. Let's talk about that.
Yes, and it's very interesting because the key to this goes back to when doctors used to treat people with fasting therapy, and during fasting they noticed that people recovered from a lot of illnesses, a lot of chronic illnesses. One of these was epilepsy, that when they fasted people they would get rid of their epilepsy. But they found that they could only fast for so amount of time, maybe 30 days or so, a water fast is what I'm talking about. And during this water fast, the body would produce these ketones because you're not eating the carbohydrates, you're getting the glucose. So the brain had to use another type of fuel, and so it used the ketones. Now, what these ketones did is that they triggered the release of neurotrophic factors, or these are proteins that stimulate healing and repair of the brain. And so people with these problems started to improve. Well, with just 30 days of being on the fast, didn't always cure the disease. It would always make them better. In some cases it would cure it, but in most cases it just made them better. And so the doctors figured, well, if we could increase the fast, longer to 6 months, a year, but you really couldn't keep a fast that long. Mm-hmm. So what they did is they invented a diet that mimicked the metabolic effects of fasting, and this is called the ketogenic diet. And basically, the ketogenic diet, you could eat fat and you could have protein, but carbohydrate content was greatly reduced. And so you didn't have the glucose in your body. And so the body had to rely on burning the fat, on the fat you ate and on the fat in the body to produce ketones. And that was very successful, and people were cured from epilepsy using this diet. Well, over the years, it has been proven to be very successful, and so doctors started thinking, well, if it's good for epilepsy, how about Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or Huntington's disease, these other neurodegenerative diseases? And so they started to experiment, and lo and behold, they found that it worked for those diseases as well. Wow. Because the neurotrophic factors that are triggered by the ketones stimulates the brain to protect the brain cells and to repair damaged brain cells, to stimulate the growth of new brain cells, along with the ketones also feeding the brain cells and providing the nutrients that the brain needs. It's also very interesting in that the ketones provide the basic material for rebuilding brain cells themselves.
Ooh. We want to hear more about that. We'll be back after this break. How can we rebuild if we're older? We'll be back with Dr. Bruce Fife. Stay tuned, 3-minute break.